Clean Cooking Association of Kenya, CCAK, formerly Clean Cook Stoves Association of Kenya, is an organization comprising of individuals, institutions, partners from the private and public sector, keen to see the adoption of the clean cooking stoves and fuels in Kenya. It visualizes to impact the clean cooking sector.
We began with the Kenya Country Action Plan for clean cooking, which identified the key areas that were supposed to be dealt with for the Kenyan context. From the Kenya Country Action Plan, CCAK was formed, and CCAK has since then worked by convening the sector, creating an enabling environment. So we really want to see a sustainable market environment, and also enhancing both supply and demand. So to this end, we've worked a lot with the government, we've worked a lot with the private sector, just to see this universal adoption of clean cooking solutions.
We chose to be part of CCAK because we thought that CCAK gives us a bigger platform than we are as a single organization, where we can advance our clean cooking agenda that would ultimately contribute to having as many people as possible adopting the clean cooking solutions.
CCAK has rebranded with a commitment to having an increased membership base that can be the voice of clean cooking in a potent, sustainable energy agenda-setting environment. CCAK aims to attract prospects and to convert them. Prospects are any parties we target in order to achieve some of the objectives set.
Meaning we are encompassing a lot of players whom we previously left behind, including partners who are not necessarily in the clean cooking space, and a sector-wide advisory committee, people who want to see whether they can set an agenda and create a bigger voice for CCAK to air issues to relevant bodies. We really thank SNV, who are our sponsors, and for this particular project that is supporting the membership drive. And one of the things that we want for this particular year is to see our membership numbers grow, and also looking at the renewed kind of approach to membership.
SNV, through the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as a project with CCK on institutional capacity building of CCK. The other activities under that project is the support for the sector study, which will create an assessment of the status of clean cooking in the country. What are the technologies being used? What are the different actors in the market and value chains? And what are the preferences of consumers in terms of clean cooking, to enable CCAK to know how far they towards achieving the 10 million households by 2022.
In partnership with members, CCAK will support in causing universal access and adoption of clean and efficient cooking solutions and practice in Kenya through a sustainable market environment. CCAK seeks to increase the membership through the years. In order to maintain members, CCAK will implement actions that build lively organizational culture where members' voice are heard and recognized. By being a member of CCAK, the following great benefits are at stake. 1. Lobbying for favorable business environment. CCAK is your representative, ready to act on your behalf should you face any challenges related to legislation, regulations, and taxes.
Of course, business members, those who produce or distribute stoves, clean stoves, they have a voice in the country. We do a lot of lobby work with government. We promote sensitization campaigns.
They help us get partners who are in the private sector, market people who are in the NGO, civil society, because in this cooking space, there are many actors. So CCK comes in the gap so that it brings these stakeholders together. They lobby the government on what they need. We have even an interministerial committee, which the ministry chairs, and CCAK is the secretariat. And we have now in Parliament the Energy Bill of 2018 and the Energy Policy of 2018, both. And they are in the last stages of being enacted. In this bill, because of the provisions of the Constitution 2010, the law of the county governments are clearly articulated, and they will be working together with the ministry now, the county governments, the 47 of them, to be able to promote clean cooking.
I joined the CCAK about 3 years ago, but then from 2016, when I realized I started having problems in my sector. One of the issues was taxation. So I approached the secretariat CCAK at that time. There is a partnership between CCAK and KEPSA. Through that partnership, they approached various departments of government, and eventually the import duty was removed. I passed on that benefit to the consumer so that the consumer could buy my products cheaper. So those are some of the beautiful benefits of being part of CCAK, because in partnership with its other partners, it becomes much easier to approach government, to listen to you and act upon your demands.
2. Link to new sources of finance in offer to help members grow their business.
We also create markets for our members. We give them training opportunities. We also work with a numerical machining complex. In fact, we're just about to sign an MOU with them. What do we want? We're looking at partnering to support some of our members move and commercialize their entities.
CCAK has been able to market our products in their website. And when they get customers who are mainly interested in domestic or institutional cook stoves, we are the first actually to be conducted.
3. Protection of member brands by following up with the authorities on enforcement against intellectual property theft.
We also look at the regulation framework, because as we promote this technology, we are also aware that if it's not regulated, it will roll back the achievements which has been there. Imagine now you going and buying what you're being told is a clean cooking stove, and when you go home after 2 days, you find it's not effective and it has already broken down. It will discourage you.
We have a meeting with the Kenya Bureau of Standards on one of the standards for biomass, which has been a key hindrance to the sector moving forward. A technical review meeting of the standard that will lead us now to the aspirational area that we want to go with in terms of the standards.
And we're also doing a regulation together with the ERC, so that the sector is regulated, because we are aware if we have quacks, we need to have artisans who are doing the proper thing.
4. Provide resources available to ensure better experience with members' business environment.
So another role of CCAK as a convener is that of brokering knowledge, in the sense that by virtue of our position, we have access to both local knowledge and even global knowledge. And therefore, we are able to bring it and contextualize it to address our needs as a country. Clean cooking is also about behavior change. So we need to reach out to people with messages for them to understand the dangers associated with the use of open fire. So anybody who joins us benefits from that.
5. Opening up of networking opportunity for members, and much, much more.
I come in the ethanol area, but I know a lot about what is happening in the biomass, in the biogas, in the LPG. So we are all one small village.
We also have facilities or opportunities for capacity building of members, and we've done that with enterprises, especially in terms of giving them skills on both the cooking technologies and especially also skills to help them to be able to engage in business, because it is through the business that then we are able to reach out to the people out there who needs these technologies.
There was actually some awards which was actually targeting the members, dealing mainly with the clean cook stoves. I didn't qualify because I was actually new, but at least our members were awarded. So hopefully next year we are going to beat the challenge.
I'm Victor Gatorgo. I work with the Netherlands Development Organization, commonly referred as SNV. In the past, when you talk about energy, or what came to the normal mwananchi was the electrical energy or the light, the Kenya Power light that we have in our house. But we want to see how that can be demystified to also mean that energy is also about cooking sources that we have in their houses, with specific research showing that 16,000 Kenyans die every year due to diseases caused by poor or unclean cooking sources.
My name is Dorothy Ortieno. I work for Nyalore Impact, a clean energy organization that works in rural Kenya, that is Homa Bay County. Women are just seen like managers of the clean products, but actually they can be a very major player in access to clean energy. And it will take a woman to tell another woman to adapt and change their behavior, especially in cooking.
Starts with energy. Thumbs up for energy.
It starts with energy. Thumbs up for energy.
It starts with energy. Thumbs up for energy.
The Clean Cooking Alliance works with a global network of partners to build an industry that makes clean cooking accessible to families around the world. I would like to recognize the Net Fund and other partners for their initiative, and of course congratulate the National Government of Kenya for its efforts to adopt proactive policy, offer fiscal incentives, and support the clean cooking sector.
Threats and challenges. While use of modern cook stoves is scarcely even considered a luxury in most of the developed world, nearly 3 billion people across the developing world still cook their food each day the way it has been done for thousands of years over an open flame or on a crude cook stove using solid fuels like wood, coal, crop residues and animal dung.
You see, you have to define our problem. Without a well-defined problem, you can't define a solution to it. So we need to really have a baseline. Where are we in terms of clean cooking? Where do we purpose to be? What do we envisage to save in terms of trees?
We do acknowledge their challenges, either of inclusivity. Different regions will take time to be able to adopt these technologies, but we are very optimistic that it's possible to overcome these challenges by bringing stakeholders together, discussing and developing policies that would create an enabling environment.
In Kenya, the lack of access to clean cook stoves and fuels for cooking is especially acute, with a third of the urban population and the vast majority of the rural poor using solid fuels to cook their daily meals over open fires or inefficient cook stoves. Even where there is access to electricity, primarily in urban areas, the use of solid fuels for cooking persists due to cost and cultural factors.
Issues of the poor households, and how do you ensure that there is inclusivity, and therefore we need to create an environment that would ensure that they are also able to afford these technologies.
So it's not just about knowing about a clean cook stove, it's being able to afford it, and things that the private sector and the government can do through climate finance in order to help make clean cooking more accessible and more affordable is the way that we need to be moving.
Premature deaths occur globally as a result of household air pollution, contributing to over multiple deaths in Kenya annually, with women and young children being the most affected as a result of acute lower respiratory infections.
At the moment, there's a logging ban instituted because there are issues of forests being cut down. To just get this raw material for cooking, the cooking energy. We have girls and women affected.
To put this into perspective, deaths related to household air pollution total more than the deaths related to malaria, tuberculosis and HIV and AIDS combined, making it the second largest overall health risk for women and girls and fifth largest health risk for men worldwide.
There's so many solutions out there. CCAK can offer you a bridge to find those solutions, and by becoming a member, it means that you're bringing your voice, you're bringing the agenda, you're making the agenda greater, and we'll be able to do a lot more.
Interventions. Consumer awareness and education regarding the health, environmental, gender and economic benefits of clean cook stoves is critical to any effort to stimulate demand for clean cook stoves. Yet, convincing people to make the behavioral shift from a way of cooking that their families and communities have used for generations to a clean cook stove is one of the sector's major challenges.
In the rural areas, we use three-stone system where you use firewood or dung or whatever. But again, when you're using firewood, in terms of health, again, it's what you inhale, the particulate matter. The brown sufuria, the black sufuria that you see, is that the same thing that you're breathing in?
If the customer is not aware of the product's benefits, demand for clean cook stoves and fuels will be low, and efforts to increase their use will be in vain.
Consumers are not aware of the existence of these technologies. There need to be a campaign to reach out to these consumers and also ensure that the products that are available in the market are of high quality standards.
To me, it is very important that this particular cooking device is user-friendly, so that you can cook without any problems, ugali like you used to do on the traditional fire. That it's user-friendly, that it's robust, that it's affordable.
For 30 or so years we've seen the Kenya ceramic Jiko, which everybody knows about, but there are newer versions now which are of higher quality, more efficient and more consistent, and those are available not only in the supermarkets but also in the smaller dupers. At the same time, the government is also encouraging people to move on to really clean fuels such as ethanol.
Ethanol is a clean cooking fuel business. If all sugar factories in Kenya could also have distilleries to produce ethanol, we have the potential to completely eradicate the use of dirty fuels such as kerosene.
We came with a design which is able to use minimal fuel, and it's able to also emit minimal smoke.
In this institution, we used to use those jikos, the ordinary jiko that we use at home. It was quite uneconomical to the school because one bag of the charcoal was going to almost 2,000. Also, when you come to the cooks, in the afternoon, most of them were quite uncomfortable because of inhaling this carbon from the charcoal. Now, when I compare it with now the current jikos that I'm using, well, even if anybody gets to the kitchen anytime, there's no smoke. It's quite economical because you just use very few pieces of wood and the githeri is ready within a very short time. It also gives the comfort to those people who are handling the kitchen in general.
Consumer awareness and education, innovative distribution models, capacity building, training, and enhanced access to consumer finance are all critical and mutually reinforcing elements for building and maintaining demand in the clean cookstove and fuel sectors.
If the government can also get involved, working hand in hand with these suppliers, where wishers can come in and work with these people financially, they would also take the cost quite low to the schools or to the institutions that require them.
To achieve the adoption of clean cookstoves at scale, all these elements must be executed as part of a coordinated strategy that also emphasizes proper use of the clean cookstoves and fuels. CCAK has participated through coordination of clean cookstoves activities in Kenya, including awareness creation, supporting innovative distribution models, facilitating access to finance, policy engagement, knowledge sharing, and networking.
CCAK provides a voice, a unified voice, not only to ultimate customers through education and awareness campaigns, but also to government, make sure the right legislation is introduced and the right incentives are given.
Some of the plans that CCAK has put in place to ensure more and more Kenyans join the association are integrating cookstove and fuel programs into broader government policies and activities on healthcare, education, environment and energy, launching government and non-profit awareness raising and education campaigns, instituting support for better cookstove design, standards and testing and capacity building along the value chain, and providing clean cookstoves to vulnerable populations such as pregnant women and refugee populations.
CCAK has been important in looking for funds to do the studies and doing the general lobbying, let's say in terms of knowledge dissemination, capacity building, and all those sorts of things. That's the kind of relationship that we envisage that we'll continue working with CCAK.
This partnership will continue, and we hope that it will be strengthened because it benefits Kenyans when we have such an organization which is working with the government so that we have these solutions for everybody.
Join the CCAK membership community and help to champion this sector by influencing a suitable market environment and capacity development of other members and stakeholders, enabling them to cause universal adoption of efficient cooking solutions in Kenya. Let's all ignite change.
When you want to champion for change in anything in this country, you must involve stakeholders, and CCAK is a one-stop shop where you can get all the stakeholders there. It's easy to champion a cause without leaving anyone behind.
The membership lasts for a year, so the form is actually available online, and once you fill the form, you'll be required to pay a membership fee. So you can get it from our website, ccak.or.ke. You can visit us. Our offices are in Kirdi, that's in South Sea off Popo Road. You can get information from our social media, that's the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
I would ask everyone who's interested in clean cooking, whether you're in business, whether you're an NGO, or whether you're an individual with a passion, to join the CCAK. That way, together, we can help get your voice heard and our voice will be stronger.
We are especially even reaching out to the young people, especially students who have an interest in renewable energy or in clean cooking, to come and join CCAK, because we begin to build a mass movement of people who understand the importance of clean cooking.
Then we create a coordinated approach. We do expect that CCAK will be able to reach the target of 10 million by 2022.
So we feel by doing this, we shall be able to contribute to the achievement of SDG number 7 on clean energy.
So we invite everyone to join us in this noble cause.